What's up, everybody? It is Thursday night. That means the draft show is here with you to draft some more amazing teams over this offseason. I'm your host, Stacy Perez. Guys, we've got a full house tonight. We've got Keith Fleming over here in one corner. We've got Rich Sickles in the other corner here, and down here in his shades, we've got Kevin Thompson. And then coming on in, we have got Miss Erika Brown here as well. Guys, we're drafting FFPC Redraft Classic. We're out of the best ball for this week. We are doing some redrafts. Guys, I would do our music, but this draft just started. So all in favor of just hitting it and getting started?
I
Say
love
aye.
it.
There's your music. There you go. Boom.
Yes,
There you go.
yes. Jason is Chicago Wolverines here, and he's number one up on the on the draft. He's got 30 seconds left. This is a 60-second clock, and he is in the chat. Jason, I see you there. You got 30 seconds, bro. Let's go. Pick Christian McCaffrey and get it over with. Come on.
Take Brock Bowers.
Just rip the Band-Aid off.
Just
rip it off. I saw how close I was to the 101. I was like, oh, man, Christian McCaffrey, you're so close.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but the years that I get lucky and get number one picks and take CMC, those are the years he gets hurt and misses like 6-7 games. And anytime I don't is, when he's like the number one fantasy player. Erika, thanks for joining us. We appreciate you being here.
Yeah, thanks.
Fashionably late. Did you want to make an entrance? You can tell me.
It has been a very long week, guys. Very, very long.
Because we're lucky Erika.
Well, we're sorry. We had to pick on you a little bit.
She's on the clock. Don't give her too much shit. She's on the clock right now. So, as promised, everybody, so this is an FFPC redraft classic format. Classic format means that we are drafting defenses and kickers. Oh my gosh, I know it's not a slim format, but it's okay. It's going to be just fine. This is a fab waiver system, meaning that everybody gets $1,000 per team. No head-to-head matchups here. This is points-based only. So we're just talking about top points are going to be going on to the playoffs, top 6 teams. I am on the clock. Kevin, you're FFPC Pro. Why don't you tell everybody what the scoring system is while I decide who I'm going to draft here?
Yeah, we're full PPR here. We're also famously FFPC is a tight end premium format. So you're getting 1.5 points for every tight end reception. So tight ends will get bumped up in this. It is also 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, tight end, and 2 flexes, kicker and defense as well. So you will see, like I said, tight ends get bumped up as we just saw with the 109 Sam Laporta going. Years past, we'd see Travis Kelce go in the top 3-4 picks in like main events and football guys / fantasy pros championship. But since Sam Laporta, like on underdog, is typically a 3rd round pick, maybe a 2-3 turn at the highest, we're seeing him go a little bit later. Like his ADP is like the 1-2 turn, but gets bumped up a little bit here.
Yeah, just a smidge. Look, I can't help myself. I will draft Sam Laporta all day, every day. Can't stop, won't stop. And I'm at the 9 pick, right? Like, it's tight end premium. Why not? Let's throw caution to the wind.
I think you just have a man crush on like Sam Laporta because I'm serious. Every time he comes up, you're like either selecting him or cussing whoever took Sam Laporta a pick or 2 before it was your selection.
Listen, I don't care. I actually couldn't pick Sam Laporta out of a lineup, to be completely honest with you. But the fact that I was all in on him last year and he won me quite a bit of money last year, I will forever be in his debt, and he will be.
So this is your victory lap tour with him, is what you're saying?
Absolutely, my victory lap, 100%.
I love
100. Look at that, Trey McBride, Rachel Tootsie Pop in the draft over here, coming in at number 10. We're gonna be sniping each other all night.
So when does the first QB go in this? With it being 1 QB,
probably 3rd round.
3rd round. Okay,
I would say.
Yeah. Well, so we have Rachel here as well. We have got some fantasy and frames folks in this draft as well, not just the ones that you see here on the screen. Although all of us except for Keith are drafting tonight. Keith is driving the bus, keeping us all on our toes. Here, Jorge Edwards, our CEO of Fantasy and Frames, drafting out of the 2 spot. We have also got Scott Cody.
This is his Jordan flu game, by the way, because he's sick right now. So he is out there drafting, doing his best version. For you young kids, Michael Jordan had the flu in an NBA Finals game, and still beat the Jazz ass. That's basically the cliff notes here. So interested to see what Jorge does. Sorry, go ahead, Stacy.
No, I was gonna say go look it up if you don't know what the flu game is, or what was the name of that documentary that they did on
The
Jordan?
Last Dance.
Go watch The Last Dance. Just
Very
go
good.
watch that.
Yep.
Drake London coming up a little bit higher than normal too, going before Marvin Harrison, who I didn't think I'd get a chance at. And Pat,
I have a feeling Irish might be a Falcons fan though, Kevin. We got Bijan London first 2 picks.
Ooh, that's a nice little stack.
And Pat Corain did famously say about Drake London that Drake London is Michael Pittman Jr., but with a better publicist. So,
oh man, Pat's always got some witty comments, witty things to say. Ooh, Dalton Kincaid. Gosh, guys, 4 tight ends off the board.
And none of them are Brock Bowers. You people are morons.
the tight end contingent, they are in heat tonight.
Yes. We've gone
Apparently not, because the best tight end in football starting week 1, Brock Bowers, has not came off the board yet.
I mean, he's going to have to do something pretty spectacular if he wants to best Sam Laporta's rookie season. So
I think he will.
That's true.
We shall see. We shall see. Oh, prizes for this.
Jorge. That's
Jorge
why I love you, buddy. Flu game is, I mean, it is really on now. Like we're talking about, he can score 40, 6 and 6, probably at a game winner late. I see it.
If Jorge does win this, he is going to win one of 3 options. He has got his choice of a Fantasy Pros entry, which is a $350 buy-in for the Fantasy Pros championship that is up and running right now. So you can go draft in that as we speak. This would be an entry for next season's draft. You could also get $200 in cash plus 4 $35 entries, which is what we're playing in tonight. We're doing a $35 entry. Or you could just take $300 in cash and walk away. So your buy-in's $35. That's a pretty good return on your investment, when you say, guys.
What would all you guys take right now? If you get your choice, what are you taking?
Fantasy Pros entry.
I knew you would take that.
Yeah,
What's the rest of it? Okay, you freaking
Right.
you guys. I take the cash. That's just me.
Me too. Me too.
Initial thought is take the cash and run, just because I'm, but I don't know if I'd ever get another chance. Well, I mean, I know I get.
Yes, you would. You could just pay the $350. You just made 10 times your entry fee. Take the cash.
Yeah.
That's what gambling is. Otherwise, it's like buying scratch offs. You win money and then go buy more, right? Like, let's be realistic here.
Yes. I just like to collect free entries.
Oh, I know. You're an addict. We can go ahead and say what it is.
I mean, I'm over here
like you were adopting puppies, and instead you meant you were doing best ball drafts. So
I was doing best ball drafts yesterday. I looked at my calendar and I was like, there's nothing on my morning calendar. That never happens. And then I also happened to look at Twitter, and I see that we have puppies available to draft on Underdog. We've got
some puppies.
Chihuahuas. We've got golden retrievers. And I said, you know what? The fantasy gods are telling me I need to go draft one of these. Like, I absolutely should. And I did. I drafted a golden retriever, and it was a fun draft.
No Yorkies, though. That's all I'm going to say. Until they get Yorkies, I'm pretty disappointed with Underdog.
And you tweeted that too. So listen, if anybody's out there listening from Underdog, we demand a Yorkie draft here.
Or Yorkshire. We can call it whatever. Yeah. But, I mean, come on. If you've seen my dog Nico, he's like the cutest dog in the world. How come he doesn't get his own best ball draft?
Nico.
Nicodemus, actually. My wife's name. I call him Nico because I barely can pronounce Nicodemus. So
I thought you named him after Nico Collins.
No, that's a big negative. Houston is one of the many stadiums I've been to and seen a heartbreaking Falcons loss. So I'm not going to name any of my animals after any Houston Texans.
Oh, Jason wants a
See,
beagle.
there's a beagle. Exactly.
It's a beagle, though.
Discrimination is there?
I feel like there might be a beagle. I could be wrong. Maybe. I don't know.
There was not last year.
There wasn't? Okay.
No.
We need like a list. Is there a list out there? Can we Google that?
Probably somewhere, because I think they listed.
I have my phone.
I think Nick Rudman listed all of them last year when he was talking about the advances.
Mutt draft. There we go. Jorge wants a golden doodle draft. Yes.
Yes. Jorge's dog is freaking awesome. So can I ask you guys, Saquon Barkley going 12th?
Ooh.
That will be the normal in August. Mm-hmm. I will tell you that right now. When people come back, and people cannot help themselves to draft Saquon Barkley at the 1-2 turn. Like where he's going on like underdog versus like a managed league. When you get into August and like into September, people are going to be falling over themselves to draft Saquon Barkley on the Eagles, looking to recapture some of the efficiency from
You think standard and PPR leagues, or you just
yeah.
Wow. When are people going to learn you don't take running backs early, right, Kevin?
I mean, look, I'm just trying to blend in with everybody else here. I got a little bit of green on my sheet, but hey, it's managed. It's a little bit different. You want an anchor,
right?
Green. I'm not familiar.
At least I took a nice, young, sexy one, though.
Nah,
Who did you take, Kev?
A-Chain.
Oh, Devon A-Chain. Yeah. A-Chain.
It's funny looking at it. It looks like you took Marvin Harrison Sr. too, and not Marvin Harrison
I would.
Jr.
Cuse guy.
I'd take Marvin Harrison Sr. right now.
Right.
Might get shot.
What do we think about Marvin Harrison Jr. for redraft?
Yes.
What do we think about?
All day.
All day.
You flipped in a week. Last week you were just saying, I know I've got to get some for exposure. And now you're all day?
That was in best ball.
Okay.
Redraft now. You got to flip the switch.
I mean, I think he's an abject disappointment if he doesn't get 140, 150 targets in that offense. I mean, they haven't had like a legit target earner. I mean, you can throw him and McBride in there, and that's probably about 45% of the targets for that team through the year.
I get all that, but we've had really good rookies since 2014. 2 of them have finished top 10 in points per game their rookie season. Jamar Chase, the highest at 4th. Like they're going to finish top 20, top 30. I think it's 6 out of 7, but people are putting them up like top 5, 6, 7 receiver. I think that's insane.
If there's one I'm willing to bet on, though, it's Marvin Harrison. I mean,
I would bet on Neighbors if I'm going to bet on one of them because I think he's going to get even more targets.
That's perfectly defensible too. I mean, we were looking at last year where we're staring down Zay Flowers, JSN, Jordan Addison, and Quentin Johnston as the top 4 wide receivers in that draft. I mean, Neighbors and Harrison are one with a bullet if you put them in last year's draft class. So I'm willing to put my stamp on both Harrison and Neighbors. I mean, Harrison's price on like underdog is a bit frothy. Going at the
what is a bit frothy? Okay,
1-2 turn. That's a bit much. We haven't seen a wide receiver go that high almost ever. A rookie.
You're not getting him this late in a best ball right now.
Right. No.
Yeah.
God, no.
No way. Hey guys, we do have a question in the chat I wanted to get to real quick. So Jim over here is asking, even if Bowers can't outproduce Laporta's rookie year, wouldn't you rather have 80% at Bowers' price? Well, so I guess if we're talking about redraft right now, if we're in tight end premium, so the format that we're drafting in, he's the 5th.
Yep.
It's off the board in the end of the 2nd round. I mean, I think I would take that.
Is it still the draft?
Yeah.
He's going to play wide receiver. He's not going to be a tight end. So you're getting a wide receiver who's going to be the number 2 option.
Yes.
Getting 1.5 points per reception.
I got my expectations are tampered a little bit just because who's throwing him the ball? He might be a wide receiver, but
Gardner, how dare you, Gardner Minshew? Come on.
I mean, if Minshew can hit Pittman all day, who is not exactly running long routes, go watch Georgia's tape. What you do with Bowers is get him the ball quickly. He wasn't catching balls 15, 20 yards down the field.
Right.
I really think it's a great situation for him. And I think the Raiders' offense might be frisky. I really do. I mean, you look what Indy was last year with Minshew. I know they had Steichen. It's a different situation. But, I mean, that was Zach Moss, Michael Pittman. That wasn't exactly a murderer's row of offensive weapons. Wouldn't you rather have Devontae Adams, Brock Bowers, Michael Myers, a good tight end?
I feel like the Raiders are going to run a lot more 12 personnel, too, now that they have him and Meyer, too.
Yep,
so
exactly.
I think that's very conducive for a guy like Brock Bowers, that you can have kind of the Ertz and Goddard, where maybe Mayer is playing more on the line and Bowers is splitting out, not playing a traditional tight end. I mean, that's not what
He's going to be like Aaron Hernandez was when he first came in the league playing with Gronk.
Right.
Minus the same routes. Yep. Yeah. Hopefully not minus the murder and all that stuff. Yeah. But
I can't even talk after the Tom Brady roast. I can't, no more. Okay, we can't talk about Gronk and Aaron.
So, let me ask you this, guys, because when you saw the roast, were you not thinking, Brady, why did you sign up for this?
100%.
And then I just saw the report. He got paid $25 million. It's like, that's why I did it. Now I know. I'll let people talk shit about me for, I don't know, $400,000. Y'all can kill me in a roast for $500,000 for sure.
Keith, man, I like you could. I think Mina Kimes posted like with every divorce joke, you could just see him like disassociating.
Yeah.
Every single one. I was like, ooh.
Right.
He signed up for it though. That's what I have to keep reminding people. It's like you when you do a roast, you ask for it.
That thing was so like there were just so many like really weird parts, like the whole Ben Affleck thing. Like, what was that? Like, did you guys see that weird rant that he went on? Like, it was so like he came out and I was like, oh, he and Matt Damon are pretty funny guys. Like, they're from Boston. This should be entertaining. And I did not know what to think about that. Did not know what to make of it.
Well, I mean, the same group made that Dunkachino or whatever fucking commercial
That
from
was
Super
funny.
Bowl. No, that was awful.
That was totally hilarious.
I just hard disagree.
Oh, it was really funny.
I
I think that him and J-Lo's relationship is hilarious, and that made me laugh because
I think that if you think him and J-Lo's relationship is hilarious, you have to see the South Park episode with Cartman and Jennifer Lopez. It is an all-timer.
That is pretty good.
Have you all seen it? Has everybody seen it? You haven't? We're watching this very soon for you. I can't believe you've never seen this. The rest of you have seen it? Erika?
Oh, yeah.
Nope.
No?
It's been a minute, but.
Oh, it's great.
I saw the one.
It's from their original relationship.
That's the taco.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it is South Park at its best.
Yeah.
I mean, it's raunchy and everything else, but it's great.
That's why you love South Park. I did see the one with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle that they did, and that was phenomenal.
They're equal opportunists for sure.
They really are. They'll go after anybody. Them
and Family Guy are just like taking people out left and right. It's amazing stuff. Doing the Lord's work.
Cole, yeah. So I didn't watch the joke that he made about Robert Kraft. But was that the one that Brady got all, his he
got caught on my. I think that was staged. I really do. Well, I mean, come on. He didn't know where the mics were. He said that just loud enough. Jeff Ross is like one of the main people behind these things. I really do. I think that was something to get, trending, etc. That's a live event on Netflix. I think they did that on purpose.
That would, I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. And definitely said he was pissed. I missed like the first part of it. I was like trying to work, and I'm not a big Tom Brady fan, so I was like, I didn't really care. And then I kept seeing all the clips on it on Twitter, and I got FOMO, and I had to like stop what I was doing and go watch.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh,
I mean, it's good. Yeah, some of it's okay.
It's wild. The whole time I was like, how are these people not going to get canceled?
I thought it was relatively tame. Like, go watch some of the old Comedy Central roasts. Like, they're
Oh man.
Oh my God! Like, you want to talk about getting canceled? Yeah.
I do want to pivot to. I just noticed at the one Mark Andrews, and then on that turn Zay Flowers and Lamar Jackson. So a big Ravens stack there. Like, I'm not sure how I feel about it. It is consolidating targets within that offense. So like, I'm fine with it. But on the other hand, is that too much capital to allocate to one offense?
It is. Take Isaiah Likely later, right, Kevin? If you want to do that, take Flowers, Jackson, take Likely.
Like in best ball, that's
right,
of course. But in redraft, where you have to set lineups, you're almost getting to the point where you're cannibalizing yourself. But that's what I'm saying about you're getting how much. What's the percentage?
We're going Yellow Jackets. I love it.
I like it. I mean, that's kind of right. Something that I don't know necessarily that you need to do like stacking per se in these kind of drafts. But I definitely like your point, Kev. That is a lot invested in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Right. Jason, defend yourself. You're in the draft. Are you a Baltimore?
The offense was. I'll defend Jason. The offense was really freaking good last year in year one with Monken, and Andrews missed a ton of time. So, I mean, I can understand it. I do think it's. I would rather take like Likely a little bit later if you want to do that.
Yes.
take, not 3 of your top 5 picks from the same team. But when you also have McCaffrey and Olave, I'm not going to hate on it because he has basically my favorite quarterback, obviously the best running back. And I think Olave is potentially going to have a monster year this year if Carr's shoulder is better, because people don't talk about that. He hurt his shoulder early. He couldn't throw the ball down the field. That's where Olave is most dangerous. And he still had a monster year. Olave did. So I think there's a chance he puts up some really big numbers this year.
So Jason says that it's a lot of Baltimore, but he says, why not?
I like it.
And he's got QB1, tight end 1, and RB1. Yep.
That's like the ceiling of ceiling outcomes.
Yes.
Well, I mean, he did say why not. He preferenced it.
Let's do it.
It's like saying no offense and then saying something offensive.
Well, I mean, so this isn't like one of our like super cheap, like $5, like, underdog, $5-10 underdog ones.
It's all relative, Stacy. Remember that when it comes to money. I have to remember that in DFS all the time, where I'm in a $200 single entry going, oh my God, I hope this freaking cashes. And somebody else is probably like, I'm going to do, I don't know, maybe 200, 200 to 500. It just depends on how much cash you got.
It does. But like, this is one of those where if you wanted to do like a few, like you absolutely can. It's totally doable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
you said it was 35, right?
It is. This is a $35 entry. Ugh, what am I doing here? I don't like any of these guys.
Oh man.
Well,
We're in the
I can't
Wow.
wait to see who you pick, man. That's like, late night trying to find somebody to take home at the bar. You don't really like any of them, but you don't want to go home alone. You know?
say that when you're trying to decide between Deonta Foreman and Chuba Hubbard, not in the 5th round.
Oh, and she went Kittle.
I just decided to go ham with my.
I like it.
I looked over here at Rich's team and I was like, "Ooh, Rich when he's double tap tight end already over here." So,
Bullies.
Rich is always known for double tapping, so be careful.
that's his other hand. That's his burner account.
That's
a zombie reference, right? Right? No.
Oh, geez. I was going to say porn. So Stacy, you waited and you got James Cook, who is one of my favorite backs this year.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of a fumble problem, but that's okay.
Who doesn't? Right?
Who doesn't? Who among us hasn't fumbled the football in an NFL football game? Out of my options, I felt like I needed to go green there, and it wasn't like the FOMO, like response, like, oh my God, everybody's taking, running back here, like I have to do it. I just had to remind myself, like, hey, we only have to start 2 receivers in this draft. This isn't a 3-star receiver here. Right. So 2-star receiver, I a little bit more important to go grab a running back early, I think, in this. And who knows, I might turn around and take another one here.
Is the other person that you were considering still there? Because don't say their name. I don't want you to like.
Yeah, actually, the ones that I wanted are a little bit lower, and it was way too early to take them. But I was like, yeah, you know what? I have 0 exposure to James Cook so far. So, let's do it. Why not? Yeah. Why not? Right? Why not?
Erika, how are your Thunder going to do tonight?
I hope they win. That would be awesome.
I
am not going to be watching the game, though.
Why? Because you had to sleep because you've been working all day?
Correct.
That makes sense. Are you excited? How confident are you that this team could make the finals?
I don't know. The Thunder seem to disappoint me every time they get this far.
Oh,
so
weird.
They have a habit.
Sounds like some straight Atlanta sports talking right there. I know. I was like, no, I don't really feel that good about it. All they ever do is hurt me. So,
yep.
But they're really young. So the good thing is, even if they don't do it this year, I love Chet Holmgren, SGA, and I just think it's cool because they kind of got screwed by the whole KD and then Westbrook deal, and it's good to see they built it back up. So
they have a great GM, and
yes, they do.
He's set them up for the future, so it's exciting.
Tell them to come to Atlanta and do the same thing because the Hawks are just barely better than average. So you went Keenan Allen and Zamir White went right behind. Come on, Stacy, you're killing me.
Ooh, Keenan Allen, Zamir White. That's so funny because I was like trying to click Zamir White to put him in my queue, and it wasn't working. And I was like, and then I just had to look over and see. Oh, it's because somebody drafted him. That's why.
I was
You guys
dead
really-
set on Rachel sniping me with Kyler
Ooh.
Murray because she had Trey McBride, and I was very happy to see Raheem Mostert.
I have just decided to be like, F those stacks. I've got somebody from several different teams here. We're in the 6th round, guys. This is a 20-round draft. If you didn't hear us say that earlier, and 60-second clock. So buckle up. You're in for the long haul here tonight. But it seems to be moving pretty quickly, right? What do you guys think?
Yeah,
Well, I mean, we can
Mhm.
start, pressuring and bullying the people that are at least either in the
Absolutely.
chat or on the screen in the draft. They start slowing down, being like, "Come on, man, what are we trying to do? Have a marathon here?"
We are not
Yeah.
about that. How do you guys feel about being in a slow draft with somebody who cannot handle people taking like time on the clock? And like, isn't that most like just the craziest thing?
You mean like not being able to handle the fact that they're in a slow draft?
Yes. Yeah.
That's me, Stacy. Why are you calling me out? I told you I did my first one and I was fucking raging by day 4.
One, I hate slow drafts. But 2,
Okay.
I remember last year I was in several, and inevitably, it would be like messages in the chat. We've waited 36 hours to between picks. I can't believe I haven't picked in this long. It's like, dude, you're in a slow draft. You're in a slow draft, bro.
Right.
This is what you signed up for, man. This is what you signed up for.
There are people doing that right now in a dynasty league that I'm in for the rookie draft, and I told like it's May 9th, like the season is beginning in 4 months, so I think we're good on time.
Yeah.
Well, why not though? Like, just say then that way. Let's do a pick a day.
There you go.
Sure.
I think that's reasonable. I think a pick a day is reasonable. I'm in a rookie draft, and we picked this morning, and I have yet to pick again today.
Actually,
But what is it set? 4 hours or how? What's the time
It's
limit?
an 8-hour clock, Keith. It is an 8-hour.
Oh, like I've been in because I think ours did start that way, and then I think once they got past like the 8th round, it was 4 hours, except from the hours of like
I
don't
like
know,
that.
it's like 10 or 11 p.m. to like 7 in the morning. You would basically get 8, go to 8 or 10 hours. I can't remember what it was, but I hated it. It took, I think, 33 or 4 days to complete. By the end of it, I had no idea what I had. Like none. I wasn't paying attention to who was getting picked in front of me. I was just checking my queue, which that's probably not a smart way to draft. And at the end, I just started trying to buy as many draft picks as possible because I had a bunch of money left over, and it was a startup league. So hope this rookie class is good.
I'm in the minority because I love slow drafts.
Do you
love them?
Why do you love
Such a rebel, Erika?
Because I am an anxious person. And so being on the clock for 60 seconds, I'm like, oh, shit. Who am I going with? I have no idea. And so at a slow clock, I can at least do a little bit of research, kind of figure out what I want, how to build it.
I respect the game.
You will
You're
say
wrong,
you love
but
slow
I-
drafts until you max center a puppy at the same time and you have 50 concurrent slow drafts going on. And
I mean,
you are always being pinged by
I'm
everybody.
doing that right now in the FCE because I'm in literally 11 drafts right now.
Holy cow.
So
I'm only in one, and I gotta tell you, I am not an MFL, whatever it is, fan.
Yeah.
I just have to go on there. I have to remind myself to go in there and check to be like, am I up? Is it anywhere near like where I'm supposed to be?
I get the email alerts, so
I must have turned mine off because I don't get email alerts for it. And I'm only in one. But the one that I'm in is actually kind of relevant to what we're doing tonight because I'm in the one with Fantasy Mojo, Darren Armani. And if you guys don't know who that is, you should be giving him a follow 100% because if you are a big FFPC player, if you play in multiple FFPC leagues, you're going to want to make sure that you go subscribe to him because he has got, and he puts out all like the ADP for FFPC. That is the place where you get it. Can't get it anywhere else. He also puts out, all sorts of, things about unique builds, different, like this team, there's this many teams in the FFPC in this specific tournament that have this particular build. And, just super helpful if you're trying to like gain an edge and you're doing a lot of these, drafts and tournaments and things like that they do all year round. So big shout out to Mojo. He is amazing. And if you play in the FFPC, you should definitely be checking out his stuff.
Yep. That dude loves the Sizzler, by the way.
Yes. Yes.
Loves.
Yes. Sean knows what's up.
I was gonna say, I want to give a big shout out to Erika letting us know her process, and now I can see kind of the anxiety interface as she's on the clock.
It's awful. I hate it.
Getting all those alerts makes me anxious. Like if I'm just like bzz, 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 bzz all the time, like it just I can't handle it.
Right.
Do you want the push notifications? Yeah, I turn
No,
those.
I want to sit down and I want to say, here's my 2 hours that I'm dedicating to this draft, and then I want to be done. And then I don't want to think about it until the season starts. That's what I want.
That's why I do DFS. I only have to take like 5 to 10 minutes and I'm done. So it's even easier.
See, I love a little bit of everything, honestly. Like I love sitting here doing the live draft like what we're doing right now. I love the slow drafts for what they offer for being able to be able to work and still be able to draft a team and stuff like that. I just love drafting. I'm gonna be honest, that's my favorite thing in the whole world.
That's like oh, stop it. That's from Elf. I just love, what does he say? Right?
I mean, you brought it up in fairness, Stacy, so you can't put us on the spot then.
Yeah, you guys sitting there, I just love Christmas or singing, right? Is that what he says? I just love singing.
Yeah, I love singing when he's in the bathroom, right? Or is that after?
Guys, I'm sorry. I'm old. I can't remember. I have only had so much for certain things.
I mean, in fairness to you, it's what, almost June? I don't think Elf's exactly been on TV a lot. You know, it's a lot from October to December every year, but not so much the rest of the year.
How do you not have that movie memorized? I mean, come on.
I know.
You'll learn, Rich, as you get older. Only so much room in your brain. And there's a lot of shit I can't forget, like bad Falcons losses, you know, who hit however many home runs in 1999. So there's a good chance a lot of information that's going in, it's just going in one ear. And like,
Keith, do you know who won the MVP in 1999?
That was Chipper, right?
Chipper Jones, damn right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, once you start memorizing the Week 17 matchups this year, like I already have the first, like from 2022 to 2023 memorized. Like I forgot how to ride a bike, so I mean that tracks.
Keith, guess what?
What's that?
Guess what I'm gonna do?
What you doing here?
What do you think I'm gonna do?
I don't know.
You
taking my boy Lad?
Yeah, I'm taking
Erika, the Lad truther. I talked her into it. Are you proud of me?
Yes. Woo! 7th round.
Steal of the draft. Sorry, Jorge. Your Bowers pick in the 2nd round has been trumped.
So we did a Dynasty 365 episode last night, guys, where we had Theo Greminger from Player Profiler on. We asked him this question. By August, what price are you going to have to pay for Ladd McConkey in redraft? And he said 7th round, potentially 6th. Who knows? What do you guys think? The way he's getting just like absolutely blown up those boards.
5th.
Ooh, 5th. Ooh.
I think 4th or 5th. I think that he's going to come out in that first preseason game with Herbert, catch like 3-4 passes on the first or second drive, and people are going to be like, "Is this year's Puka?" and go crazy.
We underestimate just how horny people get for the top target on their team that happens to be a rookie. And with a great name like Ladd McConkey, that is like the convergence of so many factors that's going to steam him up to the 5th round.
Not to mention he's a white savior, so don't forget that at wide receiver. So I'm sure that'll mean a lot of people will take him that way as well. He's really good. Like when he ran the 4.39 and somebody watched him for 3 years, I was like, holy shit. Not only is this guy just like a great football player, route runner, he catches everything. He's like a superior athlete, and that surprised me. I did not know he was going to run the drills the way he did, and if you watched him run that drill where they run straight down the line, catching passes from both directions, dude, I think he's just going to be a monster, especially with Herbert. It's a situation where he went where, again, 65% of the receptions, receiving yards, touchdowns since Herbert's been there are all gone this season. So I think it was a great pick.
Scott wants to know how many rookie receivers will go in the first 6 rounds come draft season. Ooh.
At least 3, right?
At least 4, I would say.
Rome. Actually, Rome is still on the board.
So is another one that should be going. Yeah.
Well, it was between him and Ladd, and I couldn't help myself. So
you talking about the Buffalo one?
Nobody's picked him yet, so I'm not going to say his name.
Yeah, he who shall not be named.
Exactly. Actually,
Voldemort. Holy shit! Just got real.
You don't say his name.
Man, I love that the quad squad is sticking to their name. I mean, think about the quads on Barkley, Chubb. This is somebody drafting with a purpose.
All right, we can say his
and I
name now.
respect
Xavier
that.
Worthy. That was what that he should be higher.
There he
Yeah.
goes. There he goes. Especially since Rashee Rice might be in jail. Who knows?
Yeah, he's not trending very well as far as like what's he gonna do on like Saturday and then maybe like the next Wednesday. Like
Drew Davenport put out a really nice piece just like literally like an hour or two ago about updates with all that's been going on.
Yeah, Class A misdemeanor and all, or but it's the highest. Yep.
Yeah, so go check that out if you want actual real legal commentary on that.
He's going to end up saying that he has an alcohol or drug or some kind of addiction. He's going to. I promise you. I think he's going to play this year, and I think at the most he's still going to get to spend 8 games on. I'm not concerned yet that he's going to jail.
No,
even with the dumb shit that he did, which he did again, double down on his dumbness. But
yeah,
from what I understand, it's a clean record. And that's a big deal.
And I got my favorite RB2 for this season, Jaylen Warren.
There you go.
And it continues. Najee Harris goes to Murphy's Revenge. Literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 picks before Jaylen Warren goes. That's where he's going in best ball too. I mean, these guys are literally going in the same round, like right behind each other.
The PPR is why
yes,
you can talk me into Warren being higher than Harris.
Bingo.
I think for like traditional leagues, I really do like Najee Harris.
Yeah.
In that Arthur Smith offense.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to run him into the ground. Like they didn't pick his option. Like, hey, buckle up, Najee. You're in for a season.
And also he sticks to his guns with his guys in the red zone. Like he had Bijan Robinson and he still was giving the ball to Cordell Patterson and Tyler Algier because they were bigger and more physical. And Arthur Smith's an idiot is the other reason. So he's going to do the same thing in Pittsburgh, I promise you, where it's a lot of Najee Harris. And, Jaylen Warren owners are going to be like, dude, he got you all the way down to the 5. What are you doing? It's like, no, the big guy's got to come in now. I got to piss some people off.
Oh, Rachel. Hi, Angie. Hi, Angie. We see you over here. Everybody, thanks for hanging out in the draft. For those of you who are drafting, those of you who are just coming to hang out and listen to us talk nonsense and draft strategy. Appreciate all of you that are doing that. If you've been enjoying everything that we've been talking about so far, these first 8 rounds, make sure to go hit that subscribe button so you get notifications about when we are drafting all off season. Spoiler alert, it is every single Thursday between the hours of 9 and who knows. We might have a draft that starts a little bit later next week. I don't know. We'll see.
Wait a minute, I got a bedtime, Stacy. Let's be careful with those promises. Okay?
TBD on that, guys. We're gonna have a group discussion after the draft tonight to figure out exactly what we're doing next week. But I think we're gonna have a really fun one for you. So make sure that you have liked, subscribed, followed all of us here at Fantasy and Frames, so that you get those notifications and know when we are drafting. There's 124 of you guys out there. We have 919 subscribers the last time that I looked earlier today. So Jorge didn't fire us last week, but it sounds like we're on probation. So if I can get all 126 of you out there to hit subscribe so that we can pass 1,000 tonight, we get to keep our jobs. So,
I was going to go double secret.
Probation.
Yeah, but then I'm like, wait a minute, that movie's like 45 fucking years old, and it's just gonna make me.
I got you. I'm turning 40 this year, so.
Oh man, toga.
Yes.
No one tell the papers I'm turning 40.
No, we will not.
We'll wait for your roast.
Never would have guessed it.
You don't look a day over
38. Yeah.
Just kidding.
What's that?
I said you don't look a day over 38.
Oh, well.
I'm just messing with you.
I knew Stacy was going to come out swinging when I saw, she went sleeveless. I'm like, oh, she's coming tonight for all of us.
It's hot down here, man. It's like in the 90s in Tampa.
It's called air conditioning. What are you doing? You're a lawyer. Come on.
I know.
Air conditioning bill. Turn down the air.
It's warm. Like, it's hot down here.
Is it really 90 degrees already there?
90 degrees, Keith.
It is in Texas
really
too.
Nice in Georgia. Oh, it's been so nice. Like last 2 weeks, been like 70 to about 82, 83 degrees. It's been great.
That's January weather for us, man. Like,
yeah, it's been hot in Texas too.
Yeah,
it's always hot in Texas, though.
Yeah.
Hot.
So I got a question for y'all. I thought about taking Trey Benson but I wasn't sure how I felt about. He's the first rookie running back to go off the board here.
Is.
What do we all think about that?
Do we like? I mean, I really like his landing spot there, big time. I can't really decide between him and Jonathan Brooks. Which one I like
For
more.
this year, or are you talking about for Dynasty? Because Stacy,
For
we've
this year.
had
No,
this.
year too.
James Conner's there. We've done this before. Quit.
James
Like,
Conner's
just-
30.
It doesn't matter.
James Conner is a fantasy cockroach. You think
Thank
he's
you.
dead?
I'm
And
with you.
he pulls 240 carries out of his ass.
This
I
guy
traded
gets
him.
it.
I traded him like 2 years ago, and now I'm regretting it.
This
now.
guy gets it. He's going to be great in that offense. You don't think James Conner's going to be good with all those weapons they got?
Why do you
now?
think I doubled down on the Cardinals? I got Kyler Murray and Harrison. That offense is going to be good.
Jason,
No
doubled
that's gonna be
down.
dog shit.
way?
Jason
Keep
just
dreaming.
doubled down.
Not a
Yeah,
chance.
keep dreaming.
I love it. Love it.
He's a third down back at best this year, unless Connors gets hurt. I mean, that's just
Oh my goodness.
that's what they drafted him for. James Conner was one of the most efficient running backs in the league last year. That was even without Kyler for some weeks. Dynasty, I'm with you. I think Benson's got a chance to be great. I just don't think his opportunity is going to be that much this year.
Next year, sure.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Get a year or 2 years on.
Conner's old as Moses.
I'm just saying, we did this with Mike Evans for like 7 straight years, and it feels like we're going to do the same thing with James Conner.
Like,
It's
I'll
every year
draft
it's
some.
like, nah, you're not
Like,
gonna
I'll
do it.
draft some Benson, but I feel like he's the red herring of the running back.
And I'd
the
much
rookie
rather have
running back.
Brooks, right? Like, I think that Brooks is definitely going to end up with at least a 51%.
I hate Carolina just based on principle and the fact that I don't like half
What's
of
the principle?
players.
We need to explore this a little bit. What is the principle, Kevin?
Bryce Young is terrible. But
Ooh.
anyway, no, but I mean,
a little hateful. I mean, don't
No,
you
it's
think?
okay. We're sharing our emotions and feelings, Stacy. It's okay. It's a safe space. Go ahead. Kevin.
anytime you can go and trade for Adam Thielen too and Deontay Johnson, I think you got to do it, and then add that to Mingo and Xavier. I'm on the clock, by the way. I have a question now.
Maybe
Why do people think that Devontae Parker is going to suddenly be the third target in this offense when Dallas Goedert is still alive and kicking, an offense that can easily bring back efficiency like they had in 2022?
Hold the phone. Devontae Parker is in Philly?
Yeah.
I did not know that. I legitimately did not know
I mean, it's
that.
not like it matters. I mean, he's Devontae Parker.
It does not matter. It absolutely does not matter. That's why
It doesn't.
No.
Are you just disappointed in yourself or shocked? Because it feels like both. It's okay, Stacy. There's a lot of stuff going on. We got
I'm a
lives.
little
Stuff. We're gonna miss some things.
I'm just here in the 8th and 9th scooping people. Like Javonte Williams is left for dead. Dallas Goedert is left for dead.
I had Dallas Goedert in my queue. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I had him in my queue.
That was your first tight end?
And it
Yeah.
even Devontae Parker was still in the
Impressive,
league.
Kevin. Very impressive.
I didn't either, Ann, to be honest.
Like
you know
Dallas Goedert in the 9th or Jake Ferguson in the 6th at the beginning of the 6th.
Oh, I think after Kittle, well, yeah, no.
It's-
After
after-
Kittle,
after
I think
Kittle-
Goddard's a better deal than all the rest of the guys. Maybe Hawkinson could be the one potential of McCarthy's. Really
Yeah,
good.
if you get him from like week 6 on, he's
Yeah.
probably going to be like tight end 6 or 7. But yeah, after that, it's a literal crapshoot. That's what tight end is every year.
That's
every
true.
year. Every year.
Except for when your name is Brock Bowers, okay, people?
Oh, I'm on the clock now.
It sneaks up on you. It sneaks
does.
up on you.
It really does. It really does.
You know what?
time-
We've
last
been
time I was on the
drafting.
clock,
We've been drafting all this time, and I just
Yeah.
realized
Oh, snap.
his name.
Hello,
That
Erika.
dude, right? Jorge. I
Or-
got
yeah.
it.
Uh-huh.
You guys just
Yeah.
get it? It's great.
Yeah.
Who says people from the South are slow? Look at that. It only took me, how long we've been going? 44 minutes. I thought he was just a whore. And I'm like, oh, it's Jorge.
The last
Oh,
horror finally
Now
crosses
I
the
got
finish line. It's all right. We love you, Keith.
It's okay.
You can't help but not to. I mean, that's one of the charm of being dumb.
Legally
Is,
obligated to. So
Legally
It's
obligated.
fair. I also, I'm big on Shakir, who just went. I think that's a great pick. That's Rachel, right?
Ooh, yes. Yeah, Rachel. Rachel grabbed
I'm
Khalil.
still very high on Shakir. I think Buffalo is going to be more of the offense we saw the second half of the season with Brady, where they're not as many big plays. It's more marching drives down the field. That's good for Shakir. He caught a bunch of passes down the stretch in big games. I understand they added Coleman, but I just think he's still going to get a decent share, and obviously Kincaid too, because I think you're going to see Allen actually throw the ball as much as he ever has to throw around for the same yardage and touchdowns. Uh-oh.
Oh,
Erika, feed that cat.
She always,
is that your
I don't know where she
senior
is.
kitty? Is that the senior kitty?
yes. I don't know where she is, but
How old
she's
is
She's
making
like, I can't take this shit no more. Feed me, damn it.
It's like I never
Look,
feed her, but I do, I promise.
I'm knocking on the door. Just give me some food. I won't say what door she's knocking on.
I'm trying to be reasonable, woman. Chase Brown, how do we feel about that? Where are you guys at with the Bengals backfield? Because it seems like that's one of the most contentious. You got truthers on both ends, the Moss and Brown angle.
Yeah, there's good people on both sides.
Yeah.
But I mean, we play this game every single year, whether it's James Conner, Chase Edmonds, Kenneth Walker, and Zach Charbonnet, like that. Those two backs that go pretty much in the same ADP. You have to make your decision on: do you want the veteran that can maybe hold off the rookie, or the young, sexy rookie that can overtake the veteran? You got to pick your poison.
Who would you bet on?
Yeah.
I'd probably take Chase Brown just because he seemed to get a lot of work in later on in the season. Definitely a lot better pass catcher than Zach Moss. Although Zach Moss has been bad. He kind of tailed off a little bit, though, with the Colts. But I'll go with Chase Brown just because he's been in the system. I think you got to worry about the touchdown equity there, and that would probably lead toward Moss. But, in a PPR format, if you're half PPR, you might give that edge to Moss just based on touchdown equity, but full PPR, I'd lean more toward Chase Brown.
My concern about Moss is the Steichen effect. Like, we've just seen how valuable he is for running backs. Like, it's almost like he's Daddy Shanahan, where it's like no matter what back he threw back there, you knew they were going to have 1,000 yards and have a big season. Because I really like what Moss did last year, but if you look at the rest of his career, it was like a real outlier. So,
yeah,
interested to see if he can, do it again. I mean, the Bengals should be ready to compete. Burrow's healthy. Interested to see what they do with Higgins, if they're going to end up just playing it out, if they're going to trade him, what they're going to do.
Absolutely, guys. We're coming into round.
Grenade.
Sorry, Kev.
I'll fall on the grenade.
Wide receiver 50. Man, you are just
10th round. 10th round. Rashee Rice goes. I was about to tell everybody where we were anyway. So we're halfway through the 10th round. It's a 20-round draft. So halfway through.
Halfway through, almost to the halfway point.
No, we really are we're halfway to the end.
And 4 picks. 4 picks away, right?
Yeah, exactly. I have a question for you guys. So I took a second quarterback, which may seem a little controversial in a single quarterback redraft league here. How do you guys feel about that? Do you have any issues with taking a backup, or do you just like to ride it out with one?
I mean, you can find in FFPC specifically, you can find quarterbacks. You can kind of spend, at least allocate some of your fab to find one later if you have like a good one that can, stay the whole, season. But if you're taking like a Hurts or an Allen, I think you've got your draft capital locked up in that position where I don't think it's almost wasteful to take a second one, because when would you ever start them outside of a bye week?
I disagree. Like 48 quarterbacks started last year. So there's a good chance your quarterback's going to miss a game and potentially multiple games and God forbid the entire season. So, I mean, if you're talking like, obviously you don't want to take like 2 in the first 5 or 6 rounds. But if you're talking about like the way you did it, where you took one in the 6th and then another in the 10th,
yeah,
I'm all for that.
I just was generally wondering. Well, and I'll tell you what too. And so Rachel, I swear, like our minds have melded, because as soon as I asked that question here, Rachel popped up with this in the chat. Like when do you like to take a second quarterback in a 1 quarterback league? I looked at down the board and I was like, oh, who hasn't taken a quarterback yet? And then I was like, oh, look, Caleb Williams is just sitting here. And the people that are around him, I kind of like him a little bit more. And I felt like some of those guys I could probably get a little bit later if I really wanted them. So I just decided to grab him there. And sorry, Rich, that was you.
No, it's okay. It's all good. That's the danger of. I have a very hard line of I do not take a quarterback in a 1 quarterback league redraft until the 10th round.
Is it specifically the 10th round, or is it just like one of those like the later?
Specifically the 10th round. Yep. Yeah.
Were you in a lab when you came up with that science?
Right. No, there was one. Actually, no, I know where it came from. My first year in fantasy football, I took a quarterback in like the 2nd round, and it did not pan out for me at all.
Like lesson learned, never again.
Lesson learned, and ever since then, I just have I've always just punted on quarterback. I feel like you can get a good quarterback, a QB1 in by the time that the 10th round comes around. Like we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 quarterbacks. So with the amount of differential between the quarterbacks in like with what they're going to produce by the end of the year, I'm really happy taking one later on and not missing out on a lot of value.
I like the one that you grabbed. I mean, I think you got tremendous value in Justin Herbert in the 10th round.
Yeah, I dig that too. My one kind of pushback on, and Sean in here said protect your investment with a decent backup. I want to have as many bullets as I can to fire at running back and wide receivers. So that's kind of where I lie with if I take a quarterback. I mean, I took one in the 6th, so I mean, perhaps I could be in line for another one, but that you could also play it from that angle too, where you could find the next Puka Nacua or Tank Dell or whoever.
You could, or your QB could get hurt, and you're scouring the free agent wire for your.
And find Joe Flacco, and then you're fine.
If you get them,
there's in FFPC, there's 6 or 7 starting quarterbacks out there on any given week they can spend.
When you're starting Desmond Rizzer at the end of this season, I'm gonna say welcome to hell. Now you know how I felt last year.
There's 3, 4, possibly 5 quarterbacks left on the board right now that I'm looking at that are all with good offenses.
That's why I'm waiting here, but this is what I do typically is I usually grab my one and then I double tap for my second one. So speaking of double tapping, we're right there.
You double tapping.
That's what. Yeah. So Cousins was one of the ones that I was looking at. There's somebody else out there too that I'm shocked is still floating around. Erika,
I really thought ball. Say it. You've already drafted 2 QBs. What do you care?
No, I'm not gonna influence the draft over here.
You're wearing black and a sleeveless shirt. That's the most heel move ever. Be a heel. Name the QB.
Well, I'll tell you, the black is one. I pretty much only have black in my wardrobe, Keith.
Well, that's because you kind of have to, though, right, for work?
Yeah. Well, no, I can wear whatever. I mean, look at my hair, man. I can do whatever I want for work.
Look at your hair like it's weird or something. It looks great. What does that mean? Look at my hair.
It's actually great. My hair right now is almost like an orange color, which is not what I intended to do. But it's a little flamboyant.
Wait a minute, you dyed it yourself?
No, God, no, not myself. No.
Okay. So you're saying your hairdresser.
Yeah.
I guess I'll do it. I capitulate to big 2 quarterback.
Woo,
yes.
It is.
Yeah,
and by the way, that is ridiculous that he's QB 18.
Look at that. We got the FOMO.
Donkulous.
FOMO.
That's why he took him. He wanted to say begrudgingly, but he's just like, man, that's a lot of value.
I had Jade Daniels and Purdy in my queue, by the way.
Look what I did, guys. I am totally going to take credit for forcing you all to take 2 quarterbacks. And now you've lost a spot that you could have used for a wide receiver or running back.
Stacy's had this show for only a few weeks, and she's already controlling people with her mind and her words. We better look the fuck out.
That was not my plan, but
just remember, with great power comes great responsibility, Stacy. Okay, don't you forget that.
I will not. Can I just
R.I.P. Uncle Ben?
I don't know how I missed this news. Did you guys know that Malachi Corley is living in Aaron Rodgers' guest house?
Man, that is not good.
Oh, time to take him off my
Yeah.
board.
He'll be spouting QAnon conspiracies and all kinds of crazy
I
shit.
really
no
don't
time.
care what kind
Next week on Joe Rogan.
of to. Okay, I
He'll
really
be like, here, you don't need to go get, your shots or, take medicine or whatever. I'll make you this smoothie of all this.
Yeah.
shit.
Malachi Corley does sound like the name of a flat earther, if we're being honest.
listen. I will have zero Malachi Corley slander on the show. I love the Yak King. Love him.
Yak is in.
You like Aaron Rodgers though? He's like it's kind of you have to.
Keith, go Pack, go over here. Aaron Rodgers is one of my favorite quarterbacks of all time. Look, I don't care that he is crazy.
Let's not get carried away here, Stacy.
I'm just hoping Jordan Love can be morally defensible for the next 15 years based on the last two quarterbacks Green Bay has had.
Come on, Kevin. You're a Packer fan too.
I know, and it pains me. Brett Favre was my childhood hero. And he defrauded a state's welfare fund. Aaron Rodgers is a fucking QAnon whack job.
Good for you, Nick.
Listen, we don't need. I don't need to be his best friend. Okay.
Not with that attitude.
He didn't say he didn't root for him, had a lot of fond memories. He's just saying they're horrible people, which they are.
I have an offline story about Brett Favre. I'll have to share with you.
No offline. Tell it now.
It's not safe for work. It's fine. Nothing.
It's fucking 11 o'clock. I've dropped 8 F-bombs. Tell the story.
It is 9:50.
It feels like 11 o'clock. Okay, I'm old. Give me a break. It's way past my bedtime.
Eat a glass of warm milk already.
Okay, fine.
That would put me out.
So I may or may not have went to high school with the recipient of his photograph that he sent out.
Oh,
yes. There you go.
Favre's, you mean?
Yes.
What did he say? What was the pic? What was the comment on the picture?
I said her name right on the show. Yes.
He's a celebrity. It's out there.
That's fair. Yeah, we went to. She was a little bit ahead of me, but yes, we went to the same high school.
Yeah,
so
she went to
Kentucky
Florida
or Florida?
State, I believe.
Florida.
Okay.
Oof, I'm a Florida girl.
Honestly, because I was listening the other day when you told me you were from Kentucky, so that's why.
See, I know shit about
my family is from Kentucky, Keith. So I was born and raised in Florida.
Well, that's not obviously what you said, or either I just wasn't listening. So one of the two. But I got you're from Kentucky.
No,
go Big Blue. I even put a middle
I
note.
am a UK fan. I do support the Wildcats.
Big England fan.
A big who?
England, UK.
UK, yeah, go Cats. Love it.
We have definitely jumped the shark here in the beginning of the 12th round when we're starting to get names like Ezekiel Elliott and Josh Palmer.
What year is it?
2019.
I mean,
2 Seahawks back to back.
Let's put it this way, right? Do you believe in Quentin Johnston? Is he going to have a bounce back at all? Because if not, Joshua Palmer may have a pretty good year. Because everybody, again, Herbert's a good quarterback. I do like him being in a Harbaugh offense who's had a lot of success with a lot of different QBs and a good influence on them. I think they're going to run a little bit more, open up play action, which Herbert's always been really good at. Palmer was actually pretty good last year at the end of the season. And now Allen's gone again, Williams, all those guys. I don't hate the Palmer pick or really, honestly, the Elliott either because they signed him for a reason, right?
All he's going to do is get touchdowns. They're just going to set him there at the goal line. He's going to run in and get touchdowns. Just like he's been doing. Yeah,
for Rico Dowdle truthers like myself, it was a pretty depressing moment saying that he got signed because I dodged so many bullets. I still think he's got a chance to have an impact this year, but to your point, he's going to get a lot of thunder stalling at the goal line. It hurts when you lose 7-point touches. So
that's why I like him more probably in best ball than in this format because I don't know when you'd feel comfortable necessarily starting Zeke unless you just had to for like a bye week, but yeah, I mean, I no issue there. What's up, Scampers? We see you over here in the chat. Scott says that he's sorry that I'm a UK fan. Does that mean that you are a Louisville fan? Because in that case, I'm very sorry for that.
To be fair, I don't like either. Sorry. 1996 National Championship game. Kentucky and Syracuse.
The Jeff Shepard game from Peachtree
That was
City,
was it Ron Mercer? Right? Was he on that team? Ron Mercer?
I don't know.
UK? I don't know.
Shepard was the best player on that team, right?
I don't remember. I was like 12. but I hated it. I cried after that game.
Man, just show off, Kevin, that you were younger than me.
That's a wee
at that
child,
point.
Kevin. I don't know.
All right, I guess I'll capitulate.
Boston
That's a
College.
Boston College, BC. Derek Anderson on that team. Look at Sean coming in with the deep cuts.
I love it, man.
Kamani Vidal, he's another one. Like, let's talk about getting steamed way up those boards there. Kevin, you're just adding to the
the third, my RB3.
Yeah.
Kamani Vidal.
Kamani Vidal. I love it.
I do like that Javonte Williams pick that you took earlier, because this is his second year from the knee issue. And we've seen historically with these running backs, if you're not Adrian Peterson, who apparently is an alien, it usually takes 2 full years for them to kind of get back to the guy they were, especially when they're as young as he is. He's still, I think, like 24. You know that Sean Payton's going to want to run it. He can catch passes. I think that there's a chance Williams could be a real break. Now, they're going to need – the problem is they need Bo Nix, and that offense to be a little better. And it's the same thing I was saying the other day on a Dynasty show, is that the biggest question I have about Bo Nix and all these guys is, has Sean Payton lost his fastball? Because if he has, that offense is going to be really bad. But if he's still that guy that is one of the better offensive minds in football, I could see, a lot of those Denver guys being really surprising to people this year and them kind of being a sneaky good offense.
Yeah, is Sean Payton late stage Jamie Moyer, or is he like
Yes.
Or is he 43-year-old Rich Hill that's still somehow winning games? But no, like that offense is set up to, like the depth chart. You look at it, Samaje Perine's likely he's a cut candidate. They drafted Estime. I mean, RB3, whatever. Jaleel McLaughlin is fine. I like his athleticism, but it still sets up for Javonte to be like the 200, 220 carry guy.
And like, who was the most successful running backs in Peyton offense? Like you had Reggie Bush, right? You had
Mark
obviously
Ingram.
Kamara, Ingram, like these guys that both could run and catch passes. But we're also, I mean, like Bush, even in his later years, got a lot more physical, was not afraid to run in the middle. I was high on Javonte, so I've been disappointed, but it's really been injuries more than anything that has kind of, I think, derailed the start of his career. So I really like that pick. And I think he's somebody that has a great chance to, be a real sleeper where you can get him at a great value in these things.
Absolutely. Hey guys, we have a trade question in the chat over here. The roll says that he traded Tua and QJ. Is that Quentin Johnston?
Right? Yeah.
Right? There's no other QJs out there that I'm forgetting. For Herbert, what are our thoughts?
I mean, it's this dynasty, I would assume.
Yeah. We need a little bit more information.
Actually, I don't need any more information. I like that Herbert side of it.
I do too.
Yeah, I do. I agree. I like the Herbert side for sure. I mean, I think like Quentin Johnston's kind of like dead weight, right? Like, you got rid of.
He could end up being really good, but the good news is you got Herbert, who that's only going to help him, right? So, and Tua just scares me. I know he got through last year being healthy, but man, that was really scary stuff 2 years ago. And he is still, I think, like 1 or 2 big hits away from, does he just say, look, I'm done?
I honestly, like, if I was like one of his family members, like after that year before last, I think I would have been like, please stop playing football.
It's scary. I mean, we've seen what happens to these people. Like, go see what is the movie with Will Smith. I mean, it's terrifying. Like, what happens when you take that many concussions. So, I do, though. I mean, I worry that could happen, and it's not something to like joke about or be light about, but I'm saying it is something that could happen in a dynasty league where I'd be afraid to have Tua moving forward.
Yeah.
I was going to say, do I want to crank purple or do I want to continue puking green?
No, you need to crank purple for sure.
Erika, I just made fun of Quentin Johnston. Defend yourself.
I have no defense, honestly. It was a panic pick. I had like 5 seconds left on the clock.
Oh, no.
And I have been taking him more often. I don't really believe he's going to bounce back, but he's going to get targets. I mean, there's really no one else on this offense.
Except for Ladd truthers like myself. I do want to say to Erika's point, though, Ladd plays outside a lot and can. And I think if you really want to get Johnston going, and I think Harbaugh's smart and knows he needs to, you play him a good bit at the slot. And I think that may be what they do next year is a lot of him in the slot, and then you have Palmer and Ladd on the outside.
Or
I
you
think
just hear me out, make him a blocker like Al Mazar.
Poor Alan Lazar.
Erica's like, no, I don't like that. I don't
He
like
will
that
forever
idea.
catch strays for me, by the way.
How much did they pay Alan Lazard?
Whatever Aaron Rodgers told him to pay him.
I mean, hey, look, GM Aaron Rodgers.
Him and LeBron, they've proven what good GMs they are over their career.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Scott wants to know what we think of the OBJ signing in Miami. Our Dynasty Deviant had a really good answer to this. Excuse me, on our show on 365 last night. But what do you guys think?
Eh.
Yeah, it's a non-mover for me. I've been on the OBJ train for quite a while, and then I finally jumped off this. I'm done.
I just want to let people know because it's easy to forget how time passes. It's like time in a bottle. His rookie season was a decade ago. He's had several knee surgeries, and he hasn't finished a full season, I think, in 3-4 years. If you're telling me like best ball and you want to take a shot late in the draft, I get it. Anything else? Nah, I don't think so. I need to see something during and then maybe try to get him off the waiver wire.
Yeah, to show you how consolidated Miami is with their targets, like Tyreek Hill took 31% of the target share. Jalen Waddle was literally 18.9%. So that is an exact 50% of the targets. Where are you going to find more between all the guys that they currently employ? With the running backs, with the tight ends, now they've got, River Craycraft and the ghosts of Robbie Chosen. Like, it really just matters the first two guys, like, honestly, in the passing game. So can OBJ score a touchdown every so often? Sure. And maybe he's like 18th round best ball guy, but not putting into a managed league lineup for sure.
Think about how good that Baltimore offense was last year. And he was like one of the only dudes who didn't eat. Him and Bateman.
Yeah.
Like the only dude that didn't really eat, which that's kind of all you need to know.
Not really playing anymore, right? Still really are we still doing Rashad Bateman? Really still?
I'll probably.
Would you rather do Nelson Aguilar?
Habit.
No, I'd rather not do either one of those guys. Neither one. Thank you. No, thank you.
Run to the podium.
Oh, you got your boy. Remember, one of my big losers is Rashad White because I don't get it. He's like a really good pass catcher, not a great running back. And so what do? They go out and get, I think, maybe the best pass catching back in this class. It's not good.
Remember Rashad White was the best pass catching back in his class? Like, he was like third in targets per route run behind like Christian McCaffrey and Kenyon Drake since like 2014. And
he was like, nah, we're not doing that.
He's like CE quality of pass catcher.
Right.
So much for Rico's model being available when he comes around the next round in round 15. Erika.
I mean, do we believe in Zeke, really?
I'm with Erika. I like Rico, man.
I do too.
He's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, imagine believing in Zeke in the year 2024 of our Lord. Like, what are we doing? Like, we don't have a time machine. We don't.
Do we have a DeLorean?
No.
Guys, defenses off the board.
Two of them
in the 14th round. The Jets going first overall. Rachel there is breaking the seal there with the defenses, and we got Baltimore going. I love it.
The fact that you use breaking the seal is just why I love you so much. Because in the South, that means you've been drinking. You're going to go take a leak. And then from that point on, you're going to be taking a leak about every 5 minutes. So enjoy it. Because that was the last pee you get all night. Like the 5 minutes you get in peace.
That's what my girlfriends and I say. Like when we go out, like the first time to the bathroom, we got to break the seal.
God bless the South.
Oh my goodness, guys. Round 15 here. We've been doing an absolutely horrible job of narrating this draft.
I disagree. There's 262 people watching since we've just been talking shit. When we were talking about football, there was like 100. So
it's bothered no one. So that's excellent.
We will eventually break this whole thing down for the audio listeners.
Yes. We will. So audio listeners, this will be out in podcast format as well as on YouTube. So if you'd like to listen to us, while you're doing errands, on your drive in, maybe you're working out, something like that, this will be available for you on all of your podcasting platforms.
If you're waiting to break the seal and you need something to listen to put you in the mood,
put on these dulcet tones, baby.
Right?
That's right.
Look, anytime that you can get in the 15th round some veteran presence at running back with Ray Davis, you got to do it.
That's right. Absolute veteran. That's funny. Oh my god. Brandon Aubrey. All right. First kicker off the board. Who is that? Off constantly.
I will say, because we have been talking about Ben Sinnott and how much we like him, but let us not forget the atrocities that Cliff Kingsbury has done in the last couple of years, playing Zach Ertz over Trey McBride. And look who is ahead of the depth chart of Ben Sinnott. It's Zach Ertz. So hopefully Cliff Kingsbury has learned the error of his ways.
I don't know. Like Detroit had literally 2 tight ends that could barely walk last year. They signed him, and they still were like, "No, you're not going to play single down in a meaningful playoff game." I mean, you're right. It's Cliff Kingsbury compared to a little bit smarter coaching staff, but I just don't see that working out that way, especially not with Jaden Daniels. You need to be somebody a little bit more explosive to kind of open up the field for him, and I think Ben's got a better chance to do that than Zach Ertz.
I would think so too, but
yeah.
Look, never. I got 20 seconds. I was gonna say, never underestimate how much of a dunk former head coaches turned offensive coordinators can be.
Fair, touche. 15th round. 9 seconds left, Cap. TikTok here. TikTok.
I don't like any of these guys, so I'll take Javon Baker.
I like guys that have a little bit of a kind of a going into the season with, I'm going to remember everybody who went before me and was taken before me, right? He was
like St. Brown did it. Shoulder?
Exactly.
Yeah, like chip on your shoulder.
He was all pissed off when he got, taken, thought he should have gone earlier. So I like that. Like somebody with a little chip on their shoulder.
Yeah. It must be a thing with guys named Javon, because Javon Bullard, his dog inside of him has dog in him. So does this guy. So does Javon Baker.
But my question is, does the dog inside of him have an underdog draft named after him so far this year?
There you go.
Could have to ask their PR people.
Great question.
Tyrone Tracy, by the way.
Yeah.
We're at running back 54. How
we are not scared of
Hubbard go running back 55? Are we that scared of Jonathan Brooks? I'm as high on Brooks as anybody. Hubbard's not going to not be involved in the offense, right?
Chuba's awesome.
Right?
I love Chuba. And what if Jonathan Brooks's, injury takes a little bit longer?
No, I'm with you. What did I just spend all that time saying? It usually takes 2 years to come back from.
Erika's been shouting it off from the rooftops this whole night about Chuba Hubbard. I mean, you can't get to shut up about it.
And yet I took Jonathan Brooks.
That's okay though. He's more exposed. He's more fun. He's the sexy pick over there, right? That's way more fun than Chuba Hubbard. Really, come on.
Chuba still has some sexiness, though, I would say.
I would actually argue with where they went. They both were values. Because, again, Brooks was running back 32 and Hubbard was running back 55.
Yeah. Gabe Dave off the board.
Another person I'm really shocked to see, and I think we talked about this last week, was Cade Ogden being tight end 22 in a tight end premium.
Like that.
Really? Did you see the way he closed last year?
Yes, I did.
He was running 95% of routes for the last half of the season.
He was basically Tyler Higbee the previous 2 years with the Rams. Where he's always way better. Yeah.
Because Tyler Higbee's Tyler Higbee.
Is he still with the Rams or no? Didn't he leave?
Mercifully, yes, he is still with the Rams.
Yeah, he got pretty late last year.
Yeah. The Davis Allen hive is still mobilizing.
Yes.
Do we know Darren Waller's going to retire or not? Has he said anything? Because Joe Matz, the Giants fan, said he thinks he's going to retire. So, I don't know.
I think he's worried about off the field matters with losing Kelsey Plum versus if he's going to retire.
By the way,
talk about fumbling. We talked about fumbling earlier.
Big time.
She's been all over social media too. Ever since it's happened.
Love it.
So Matthew Stafford being QB 22, I just want to remind people that when Cup, Puka, Kyron Williams, and Stafford were on the field together last year, number one most efficient offense in the NFL. Most efficient offense in the last 14 years. I think people are sleeping on Stafford. It's like and it doesn't make sense to me because we're crazy about Puka and Kyron. He's going so early on his drafts, and yet you don't want to take the quarterback with him. QB 22 seems to me really late.
It's the same. Where did Jared Goff go? It's almost like the same with him too. With Amon-Ra and Laporta. Where did Jared?
Pretty early. It's around 7.
Okay, that's earlier than he's been going.
Yep.
Luke McCaffrey. I like it. No?
No, sorry. I'm trying to.
He's frustrated because he's picking and
got 30
he's
seconds.
making grumpy old man sounds.
I'm scrolling the F down at running back.
Let's go. Take Jalen Polk here and just double up. Oh no. Okay.
Look, Deonta Foreman has always been efficient whenever he's gotten a chance on the field. Nick Chubb is not going to be healthy to start the season. Jerome Ford tailed off at the end of 2023. Who's to say I can't get some early season upside?
Deontay
if I need it.
Waiver wire favorite. Get him now, and then you don't have to go pay for him.
And the best part about these guys is you can take your peak. If you have to drop them, you drop them. That's
exactly
from round 16 on. You're taking your lottery tickets.
Oh yeah, I mean half these guys you're probably going to end up dropping. Like I can't imagine somebody is really going to keep Alexander Madison on their team unless something just terrible happens. Sorry, Rachel.
I didn't use this. I'm like, buy Rachel a drink first next time, Stacy.
Sorry.
Goodness gracious.
Love you,
Rachel. Yeah,
love
for
you,
real.
Rachel. I'm sorry.
Won't kill Stacy.
By the way, shout out in the chat, Jason Calhoun. Ray Davis, better in presence. He's a rookie. Yeah, he's like 25 already.
Stetson Bennett's like he's a young guy, man. He's a kid.
He's right there. I was like, he's on the Stetson Bennett plan.
Yeah. He might be on the Brandon Whedon plan for all we know.
Who else? What?
Chris Winkie was the OG.
Yeah.
I think he really was like 30, I think.
I saw Chris Winkie play minor league baseball before he got drafted. That's how old he is.
Well, you saw that Jaden Daniels threw a pass to Brandon Ayuk at Arizona State to beat Justin Herbert when he was at Oregon. That's how old he is. So I haven't heard anything about that. Like people, it's like 23, 25 is not that really different.
He's young at heart. That's what all the old people say is that they're young at heart.
I've been starting to say that the last few years, so I can say that is.
That's what they say in all the Paxlovid and the Tick-2 commercials that you see.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
I do like that Noah Fant pick.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, they got rid of all the clutter in Seattle. It's a new regime.
How dare you? What's your boy Disley that you're always talking about? How
my boy
dare
Hunter Target Disley in the for the Chargers this year? Yeah. Well, they got rid of him. They got rid of Colby Parkinson. They kept him. Noah Fant was a high draft pick in 2018. Like we've seen these late stage athletic tight ends like Eric Ebron, Jared Cook, guys like that, and I think he's probably better athletically than both of those guys.
Evan Ingram just recently had that one good year and was like 4 years of nothing, and then all of a sudden now he's starting to catch
it helped literally everybody and their mother got hurt on the Giants that year. That Ingram,
is true. I forgot about that. You're right.
Like they were down to God, I don't even know.
Darius Slayton, Isaiah Hodgins, and that's why I'm like, dude, are we still really hammering Daniel Jones saying he sucks when it's like, what receiver has he had since basically OBJ left? Because he played 1 year with him, I think, right?
I think so. Yeah. Keith Jorge has got a 2015.
Eric Ebron.
There we go.
You mean Jorge?
Jorge.
Hey.
My dumb country ass, the first time I spoke with Jorge, I'm like, is it Jorge or is it George?
I never thought I'd get sniped on a kicker, but it just happened.
Welcome to the classic format. Yeah.
I was going to actually do it.
Wait a minute. Y'all take kickers and defenses before your last two picks?
I mean, if you want Justin Tucker, you sure do.
No, people. No. No.
That was good.
No. I personally never, ever, and maybe it's old school from just doing traditional drafts, but there is no way I'm ever taking a kicker or a defense before my last two picks. And most times I won't even draft one and instead just take people. And then when it gets to week one, I'll drop the two players that have the least value on my team and pick up a kicker and defense. Because at the end of the day, you can't control any of that shit. Defense is all about scoring touchdowns and turnovers, which you can't predict. And the kickers, I mean, yeah, Tucker's good, but I mean, each year it's not like he's like the number one kicker by a wide margin. There's not a big disparity from the number one kicker and like the number 12.
Yorga.
God.
Is that like the yogging with the soft J?
I'm calling him your guy from now on.
Jorge says somebody thought he was Eastern European, pronounced Yorga for our listeners.
I love
It sounds like something I'd buy at IKEA.
Oh my goodness.
Sounds like my 2-year-old niece, how she'll say for like yogurt or something. Man, there's a lot of defenses going too. I don't get it. I think you can find defense, and not to mention I'm somebody that I like to look at the schedules, figure out when they are, who teams are playing. Because my favorite thing with defenses is I want to know every single quarterback that you're playing. And literally I start looking at who is playing, 6 bad quarterbacks, 8 bad quarterbacks, 10. And that's where I kind of rank my defenses, because that's the one thing you can kind of predict, right? We see that if you're playing Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, and these guys 2 times each year, that's not good for your defense. If you're playing Desmond Ridder, Marcus Mariota, guess what? That's great for your defense.
Right.
Can I tell you why I just took the Dallas defense?
Because you wanted to spite me while I was ranting about not taking a defense and then taking a defense?
No, every year when I play in leagues where you have to draft a defense, inevitably at the end of the season, come playoff time, somebody who has the Dallas defense, I end up matched up against them, and they have the best freaking weeks they've ever had. They're putting up 15, 20 points, something absolutely insane, and it always just absolutely just bones me in the playoffs. And so that is why I said, not this year. I'm not going to let you beat me this year. I'm taking the
No, bones
Not
you,
today,
is what you
Junior.
said, okay? Not beat you. You said you get bonesed every year.
That's
By
right.
the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes.
How about them Cowboys? I'm just kidding. I don't think.
By the way, Moondog, 17-11. I'm okay with it. I like it.
Oh, Darnell.
Yeah,
I was like,
no.
who's Moondog? I was like,
I was
what?
deciding between him and Shipley on my pick. I really wanted to go with Mooney.
Yeah, see?
Oh, hello.
Sean knows. 0 regrets. And if anything, me taking them has just ensured that they will suck this year. So
It's a win-win for everybody.
I'm fine with it either way.
Me too. Because there is not a more delusional fan base in the world than the Dallas Cowboys. Because when the Falcons have won more playoff games, been to more Super Bowls, conference championships for going on 30 years than you suck. And you guys still think you're really good. So I'm sorry. Like, I know we suck, and we've been better than y'all. So win something or just shut the hell up.
Oh, man. Guys, we're in the 18th round here. We've only got 2 more rounds left. We're coming around in the stretch. I'm trying to use a derby reference, and I just absolutely
down the stretch.
The home stretch.
butchered it.
Did you see the coverage before it started where they actually showed, at least the first time I noticed, a lot more of the horses like in their stables, just like eating snacks and stuff? It was the greatest thing.
Oh yeah, and the analyst people are just like walking up to like random people that are standing like by the horses and like shoving a microphone in their face.
Like, hey, how's the horse feeling? It's like, I don't know. Let me stick my hand up there. I'll let you know.
Yeah, I don't know. He's just hanging out. Michael Wilson. I like that pick here in the 18th round. That is tremendous value.
I like Wilson a lot.
Yeah, same here.
All right, favorite pick from round 10 down. Stacy, put you on the spot. Go.
Favorite pick, round 10 down. All right, I'm looking. I can't say Malachi Corley because that's obvious. Would have said Malachi Corley. Let's see. This is tough. I like a lot of these.
All right, I'll let you marinate. I
What is
forgot to go
Stafford?
1 minute.
I'm gonna have to take the Stafford one. Stafford
Okay.
one in round 16. That's wild.
I like it. That would be mine. The other suggestion would be, as much as I hate to build Kevin up, getting Brock Purdy at QB 18, people. He was QB 6 last year, his first year as an NFL starter, full season. Matt Ryan, his second year in that Shanahan offense, MVP, one of the best offenses in the last decade. It's not like Purdy lost anything. CMC's coming back. Kittle's coming back. They actually added another, talented receiver. I'd be shocked if he's not a top 10 QB this year. And to get him at QB 18 is pretty ridiculous. It's kind of disgusting, honestly.
Good snag there, Kev.
Erika, your favorite pick since round 10 on? She's like, I already have so much stress from drafting, Keith. Why are you doing this to me?
For real, though. For real.
Sorry.
Erika, are you enjoying the FFPC? Is this one of your first FFPC drafts?
Yes, it is actually.
Yes.
My very first.
How do you feel? Do you like it?
It's a little clunky on the website. It seems like the app is better.
Yeah.
Not a big fan of the website itself, but yeah, I like it so far.
Nice.
Did you have it on both your phone and your computer?
I did until the Thunder game started. So
Atta girl. What's the score then? Give me an update.
Nah.
Oh. See, that means they're winning because you don't want to jinx it. I know.
No, we're losing right now.
The other way around?
Yeah, 50-39 right now.
Oh, it's early.
Yeah.
Rich, you popped the FFPC cherry tonight too, right?
I did. This was my first one. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're killing me. Breaking the seal, popping the cherry. I love you so much.
30. I'm allowed to say these things.
No, it's charm is what I'm saying. Being from the South, it's just awesome to hear women use language that we use all the time. It's just I don't hear that very often. So it's great.
Goodness.
It's definitely a compliment. I love you. You're the best.
Thank you. Well, Rich, what do you think? How are you feeling?
About
the draft.
It's like about what?
The draft in general. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Your team.
No,
I mean, you can talk about your team if you want to, but
right?
This was more about like how do you enjoy this format?
I'm enjoying the format a lot. This is actually kind of where I feel like my bread and butter is a little bit more. I just redraft. I just feel comfortable with.
Yeah. Same.
I like my team. I kind of did what I normally do with it. Yeah, I'm really excited to see how the season goes. This is going to be really interesting, actually.
I like that you have rules, though. You know what I mean? Like you were saying, like you always wait the 10th. Like I think that having a plan and, relative, obviously you have to adjust a little bit. I understand it here and there, but just knowing what you want to build, at least then I think that way you can get, an idea of what you're looking for and try to create your team within those parameters. Because when you get, like what Stacy was saying, I've done this in DFS, when you start talking about exposure and just, this guy, that guy, the next thing you know, you get the wrong combo and you're just screwed. Because you didn't really have a plan, right? Like then you kind of changed everything up.
Yep. Well, and so my home league is kind of my only redraft that I have really. And so a lot of the guys there, they all like to wait a little bit too on their quarterbacks. So it's kind of like it's a game of chicken. Who's going to go first?
I love it.
Yeah. But no, if you can get if I can get Josh Allen, I will say, so I wait till the 10th pretty much all the time. But if I can get Josh Allen later on, in the 6th, 7th round, I'll pull the trigger then. But typically they're gone by the time that happens. So
how long y'all been doing the league?
We're on year 11, I want to say. Yeah, not very long. Not very long. We're still pretty babies. But,
that's pretty impressive, though. No, 11. I mean, just keeping it because it's most of the same people, right, from the beginning.
We've had quite a bit of turnover. I got some
sore losers.
Oh man, do I? Yeah. I don't even. I'm just imagining my buddies watching this and being like, "Rich, don't even go there.
Do it."
Is it going to turn into a Drake and that kind of situation?
There was one particular moment when I was the commissioner of the league. I was the commissioner of the league for a very short period of time, and there was person that was in our league, and she ended up, she was dating one of the other people, and they ended up breaking up, and so there was some drama there, and they ended up getting out of it. And
Wait, did one leave and one stay, or did they both leave?
One left and one stayed. And
did y'all do like Survivor and vote one of them off the island?
No. She was just done. She was done with it, and we were all like, okay, understandable, and it was pretty amicable, and then I made a new chat, and I accidentally added her back in instead of the boyfriend.
I was waiting for you to say that she was going to delete drop all the players on his team. That's what I was
going to say, that he accidentally double tapped her, but
no. So I added her in that chat, and then and the first thing that somebody said was something about, because she spelled her name special. And somebody made a comment on it immediately, and it was just like, and she was like, "I'm still here, guys."
I didn't know that she was still in there.
No.
Oh,
it was
that's tough.
Yeah,
but
you
shouldn't have joined the league if your heart wasn't in it, and it sounds like it wasn't. So,
yeah.
Oh, so it forces you to take a defense if you haven't.
Yes.
Oh,
got it.
I'm pretty
Didn't
sure
know that.
this one will make you do that. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it did.
Why? Like, why should you not be able to draft players as long as your roster is correct by day one? Like, to me, you should be able to do it.
The rules are
Come on. If it were like that, I wouldn't draft either, and then just draft.
I was not aware of that when I was ranting about why you should, basically not take a defense or a kicker.
Round 20. 3 more picks left.
3 more picks.
3.
All right, y'all each go through your team. Talk through your draft. Don't all go at once, though.
Erika, tell us about your team.
I gotta find it first.
She's like, the Thunder got the ball. They're down 8.
Here, Erika, no one cares. It's the last 3 picks. So you guys are all probably taking kickers and defenses. So we'll scroll back up for you, Erika. Here we go. You picked out of the 5 spot.
Okay. So I went. There it is. Okay. I got Chase in the first, Kincaid in the second, DJ Moore in the third. Jalen Hurts took the first quarterback off the board in the 4th. Went Malik Neighbors, and then finally drafted my first running back in the 6th with Aaron Jones and then Stevenson. Then, of course, I had to get Rome because, Chicago homer. So, and then went 2 more running backs with Brooks and Singletary, and then drafted a QB2 in the 11th. Then
what favorite
just fillers.
I love her first 5 picks. Like her first 5 picks, I think could all end up having monstrous seasons. Because again, Neighbors, I don't think people were talking enough about just where else are they going to throw the ball if Waller retires? Because Barkley's gone, Waller would be gone. I love Darius Slade. He won me a bunch of money in DFS last year, but he ain't that guy. The Kincaid pick, we saw what Moore did. You would think Moore would be even more effective with having a better quarterback, more weapons around him. I love those first 5 picks. And then, that's kind of what you got to do at that point is you just said, let me throw some shit at the board at running back and hope one of these things stick. Yeah.
I love it. I love the Kincaid pick. I think this is.
I do too.
Yeah, that's going to be a great year for him, I think, without a doubt. Kevin.
Yes.
Number 6.
It's a standard Kevin Tompkins team. I did take an anchor in the 3rd with Devon Achane. Anytime you can take a guy that can score 40 points weekly, that's a guy I want at running back on an explosive Miami offense. I don't know if you guys know this, but they like fast guys there, so Achane definitely fits the bill. I will be starting Jefferson, all 4 of those wide receivers, 2 in the flex. So good luck outscoring those 4 wide receivers in Devonta Smith, Waddle, Jefferson, and Marvin Harrison.
Nope, it's going to be Jefferson, Harrison, Waddle, and McLaurin.
Oh,
well, you know what? If something happens where one of those guys get hurt,
no, I just think McLaurin's I think he's going to have a top 10 year.
Okay.
Well, he's on my bench. until then, well, it is what it is. But look, Kyler Murray to kind of skinny stack with Marvin Harrison. I do really like the offense in Arizona now with Trey McBride and Michael Wilson and James Conner / Trey Benson.
Yep.
That's a very slept on offense. And then Javonte Williams was a faller that I grabbed. Goddard, a faller I grabbed. Rasheed Rice, I'll take the
that you grabbed.
Right. Brock Purdy, depending on who you ask, a faller I grabbed. And then from round 12 on was scratch off tickets. Kamani Fidel, Bucky Irving, Keaton Mitchell, who I know will be a mid to late season guy, but can be a spike week guy if something happens to Derrick Henry. Javon Baker is live to lead the Patriots in targets this year. Ooh. Ben Sinnott, obviously tight end premium, famously tight end premium in FFPC. Mm-hmm. Him and Goddard are a nice duo. And then, Elijah Mitchell. People want to draft the young, sexy option in San Francisco, whether it's Tyrion Davis-Price or Trey Sermon or any of these other guys. But when push comes to shove, it's always Elijah Mitchell. So I had to draft him.
By the way, you act like he's old. I think he's 25?
He's like 25. Yeah. But seriously, everybody loves.
No, I know what you're saying. Yeah, it's always
here's the new guy. Let's draft him. All Elijah Mitchell's like, what about me, guys?
I'm still not over Trey Sermon because that year I was all in on Trey Sermon. Then all of a sudden Elijah, I'm like, what the fuck?
Jordan
is going
Mason.
on?
That's another one everybody wants to draft.
Yep.
Yeah, I took Trey Sermon in a dynasty draft one year, and
rightfully so. It was a great fit. Shanahan offense. I was like, let's go, and it's like, what? Yeah. Rich, go through yours because then we gotta let Stacy go through hers, and I'm gonna hammer her since she was so mean to Rachel earlier.
I didn't mean to be mean to Rachel. I'm sorry, Rachel.
I started off with the Sun God, went with Amon-Ra St. Brown, went and got my hero running back in Josh Jacobs, who I think is going to push to be a top 3 running back this year. I love the landing spot with him in Green Bay. I hate that I love it as much as I do, being the Vikings fan that I am. Then I grabbed my tight end 1, Kyle Pitts, because I am a believer, especially this year with Cousins being there. Deebo Samuel, grabbed him. I really think that he's being undervalued. Grabbed Evan Ingram, double tapped the tight end position there. Really like Evan Ingram this year, especially in a tight end premium league. I think that he'll do numbers still. Grabbed Amari Cooper. That one I didn't love as much. That one was actually one that I kind of struggled with a little bit there.
I like that pick a lot.
I was I'm happy you do. I'm happy somebody.
I think he's like the most underrated receiver just about in football. And if maybe Watson's a little better this year. Yeah,
I loved him down the stretch. I'm just worried about what he's going to look like with Watson. That's my only gripe.
Fair.
But and then I grabbed Deontay Johnson because I really love Deontay Johnson this year. I know Kevin is not big on Bryce Young, but I still believe I'm still holding truth. So grabbed Zach Moss as my second running back off the board. And then I was surprised to see that Austin Eckler was still sitting there, so I grabbed him too. Then I double tapped again and grabbed my 2 quarterbacks back to back there with Justin Herbert and Kirk Cousins. And then I started grabbing some depth pieces with Josh Downs. I think he's the wide receiver 2 there in Indianapolis. Grabbed Brandon Cooks. He looked good down the stretch, so I hope that they continue to do what they were doing with him towards the end of the year there last year, at the beginning of the year this year. And then who do I got there? Audric Estime. Grab some guys that I think might pick up some death points for me. Audric Estime, Will Shipley. Jalen Polk, I'm kind of interested in. Isaiah Likely. I grabbed couple tight ends, Isaiah Likely and Zach Ertz, hoping that one of them will end up getting me some points there off the bench. And then I grabbed my guy, Greg the Leg Zerline. If I'm grabbing a kicker, it's always Greg the Leg.
I love it.
Love it.
All right, Stacy, let's go through this thing so I can start mocking you.
All right,
Is this the roast of Stacy?
Yeah. Oh my God. I didn't sign up for that, and I am certainly not getting paid $25 million for you guys. So, I had the 9 pick, tight end premium. I said, let's go for it. And I took Laporta off the
Your
board.
guy.
That's right, my guy. So in FFPC, I mean, you guys would see like this isn't unrealistic, like to see stuff like this, especially first and second round towards the end, the later picks there. Grab Garrett Wilson, Stephon Diggs as my 2 starting receivers, James Cook, George Kittle. I completely foresee myself starting like my top 7 here with McConkey in a flex, throwing Kittle probably in the tight end spot, getting Laporta at the flex, trying to double up on those tight end premium points there, and then trying to decide every week between do I start Jalen Warren or Tony Pollard. I decided that for my quarterback situation, I needed 2 NFC North rivals in Jordan Love and Caleb Williams. So grabbed him there, and then just grabbed some guys that I liked, at value kind of later on in the draft, like Jack Charbonnet. JSN was still there in the 12th. Jahan Dotson, who has really fallen after a pretty horrendous year last year. I think he's super talented though. And now that Curtis Samuel's gone, if he's going to do anything, it's going to be this year. So make or break for
Made
him.
a lot of big plays down the field,
Yeah.
like both years, and by far the best quarterback he's had throwing the ball down the
He
field.
was way too cardio adjacent last season.
Yep.
Just as somebody who had him in King's Classic for $10 and nobody else bid on him, and I thought I got a steal.
Well, I took him in the 4th round in an FFPC main event, so if that makes you feel any better.
A little bit, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome for that. And then and then Kate Otten there is one of my later.
I think that's a great value. Like at that.
I love Kate Otten this year. I can't stop with the Kate Otten picks, especially in a tight end premium. I probably wouldn't if this wasn't tight end premium. And then just the rest of the guys there are just going to be guys just to fill in spots. I did grab Daniel Bellinger though, just because in case Waller does retire, I took a look at the depth chart real quick before I did that. And he's second on the depth chart there. I've liked what I've seen out of Daniel Bellinger. And just like a total tough guy too. Do you guys remember when he had like his eye socket like broken in the middle of a game? Was that last season or the season before?
I don't like thinking about
it. I do remember that actually. Yes.
Yeah, like total beast. And then he came back like that same season. So Daniel Bellinger.
That's again a hard pass for me. If my eye socket is like coming out, I'm done.
Yeah. Sean wants us to grade his team. If you guys want to do that real quick, we have been on for an hour and 42 minutes. So I know it is getting a little bit late for everybody, but Sean was in the 8th.
I haven't even yawned yet, so I'm okay. I didn't have my
Can I roast? Can I roast somebody?
Sean, you wanted someone to grade your team because LOL, so you just signed up to get roasted. So go for it, Kev.
All right. Well, he's number 8, correct? Gangrene.
Yeah, I feel like Sean's a good sport. I feel like he can take it.
Okay. All right. Breece Hall. I got nothing wrong with that. But look, Travis Kelce, Derrick Henry, Devontae Adams, Keenan Allen. Like, are we going to play some bridge, or are you drafting a fantasy football team? Like, what are we doing with these 32-plus-year-old players? Look, I'm fine with all of them. It's just a lot of early draft capital on players who might need walkers by week 8. Patrick Mahomes and Kelsey staff. Where do you get your ideas? That was how you won in 2022. I don't know if it's going to be how you win in 2024, but I admire the moxie. David Njoku without Joe Flacco. Let's see. Chris Godwin, fine with, because I think that's a good price point in the 8th.
Yeah.
Brian Robinson. He's like Washington Zeke Elliott, so cool. Curtis Samuel, 90 targets on the Bills, but everybody else will have 90 targets as well. Gus Edwards, Tyler Lockett. We're back to the Sizzler. Let's see what else we got here. Michael Wilson.
Was that Aaron Rodriguez that just said that Laporta in the first? Like A-Rod, the A-Rod? I can't believe
Alex
he's watching.
Rodriguez.
Or is it Aaron Rodgers?
And I don't know.
He was looking for conspiracy theories, and he just happened to wander his way in here. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, it could be Aaron Rodgers too. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know if he means like that is like that was a bad pick in the first. We might have to square up.
I like that he spelled it off TUFF though. That is
FFPC is
speaking my language.
Yeah,
it is famously tight end premium. So yeah.
But Rachel just asked a question that I want to answer because I agree with most of what Kevin was saying there with the roast. But I will say that the Chiefs offense the last 2 years, and if you look at like the points Mahomes put up in fantasy, despite having a bunch of hot dog shit around him, was still pretty good. And Kelsey last year, I keep forgetting, he had that knee injury right as the season started.
Yeah.
And my wife watches a lot of his social media stuff. Or apparently he said something to his brother that he didn't even feel right until like week 16 or 17. You look at what he did in the playoffs, looked a lot more like the Travis Kelce that we remember. So if you're saying Kelce bounces back in a tight end premium league, and then Mahomes has now added Worthy, who's the closest thing to being able to do what a Tyreek Hill. I'm not saying Worthy is Tyreek Hill, but I'm saying he can put pressure on a defense.
He better be more Tyreek Hill than Mecole Hardman.
I agree, but he's more of a talent than Mecole Hardman. I'm a Georgia fan.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm willing to admit that. Like,
Mecole Hardman was like, we have Tyreek Hill at home.
Worthy is a receiver. Hardman was always a gimmick dude. He was a gimmick dude at Georgia.
Yeah.
I just to me, I hate this because screw Nate Markham. I'm sick of the fucking Chiefs, but their offense is going to be really good. Really good, especially if Rice gets to play. Oh my God. All of a sudden you've given Mahomes a little better offensive line, a 6'6" tight end to go along with Kelsey and Gray, and a real burner. And it's and we saw what Rice was last year. So I kind of like that. I don't hate the Mahomes going QB5 because I think Mahomes is you know what? Screw you guys. I'm the best QB in the league. I'm going to throw 50 fucking touchdowns this year. It would not
He's
shock
going to
me
have
at
to pay it off. That's
exactly. Well, especially with Snead, right? Them letting him go. The defense is not going to be as good. Man, the offense is going to score more points. I just that part I kind of understand.
Yeah. Well, guys, this has been a blast. We're coming in at an hour and 46 minutes. So those of you who are still listening to us, thank you very much for hanging with us tonight. Again, if you enjoyed this, if you have gotten to this point and you have not subscribed already, what are you doing?
Double tap that subscribe button. Give all of us a follow over here. Follow Erika. She is over at America 108 with a K there. Rich is over at Rich Sickles GBM. Kev is Kev Thompson. Tompkins.
K Tompkins II.
And for those in audio, because I always forget they can't see that, his handle says, if I could draft less than 0 running backs, I would.
Kev, I for some reason have you as Kev Top, but it is K Tompkins II on the Twitter machine.
We made the pirate joke last week. Remember? Captain.
Captain. I am at Stacy _Perez 83. Guys, next week we are going to be possibly, we've thrown it around a little bit. We might be doing a Fantasy Pros Championship draft. That is a big deal, high stakes draft. So put on your big boy pants, put on your big girl pants, and get ready for some fun high stakes action. Jumping in on that. And remember, subscribe so you can get all those notifications about when we're drafting. Thank you to everybody who drafted with us in this draft. I know it is a big ask to do a redraft here in May, so I appreciate all of you jumping in. Everybody in the chat, it was amazing. Guys, we will see you next week. Have a great weekend. Happy Mother's Day, everybody.